Hi everyone, I am Heimdall Küku, but you know me as Tokyomi from the gwentdatabase.com, who is the publisher of Spella'teal Grint deck. Sorry about late reply for your questions. I want to make a guide video as I promised in the uh, comments section of the deck. And I don't have enough time for it because I was so busy with my college. Uh, so now I have a time for it, and I decided to make a video for you guys. First, I want to really thank you for all of your interest to the deck and for your comments um, about the deck. And it's hard to make a video about it because actually my English is not enough to explain some situations, but I think I can get over it in the video, and it's better to focus on gameplay so I can show you what I uh, want with this deck, what I want to do with this deck in the video. So I want to start with the deck composition as a start, then I'll go and play a game to explain you more about Mulligan and play style of the deck. First, let's start with golds. Or maybe it's better to start with bronze because it relies to the game plan of the deck. As you can see, this is the hallmark of the deck, which is the Dol Blatana Sanctuary. It's a very important card, also the most important card of the deck because it's your game winning condition. Actually, it's a big boy. Don't look at it as a two strength bronze unit. It is your win condition. It's your finisher actually, and you have three of them in your deck. So what Dol Blatana Sanctuary does for the who's that is who is close, who is new to the deck. Sorry, I want to start with explaining this bronze card and why it's so strong, and how can you use it in the your game plan and in your games. So if we start with Dolplatana Sanctuary, it boosts itself whenever you play a special card. It doesn't matter it is in your deck. I'm talking about Dolplatana Sanctuary. It is in your deck. It's in your hand. Also, it is in your board. It doesn't even matter. It boosts self by one whenever you play a special card. Uh, so you have some special cards which helps you to increase the strength of the Dol Platana Sanctuary as well as the thin your deck in silver slot. As you can see, our six cards in silver is spells. So uh, I want to go and talk about Elven Mercenary and Reconnaissance because it's a bit tricky combo, and actually you want to use it for thinning, but if you do not use this combo properly, you can break your hand with Elven Mercenary, which does nothing actually and represents only one strength. So um, since in my variant, I use two Mahakam Ales. I use one of my mercenaries to thin my uh, deck via Reconnaissance. So I use Elven Mercenary, pull Reconnaissance after I become sure that I'll pull Reconnaissance, of course, because you can pull other spells like Azul's Thunder and Malcolm Ale, and uh, it will be good actually. You can use the one of your Malcolm Ale, but be sure that you have only two Elven Mercenaries in your hand when you finish your Mulligan. So before explaining Mulligan, so I want to explain this Alvin Mercenary combo. Since I have, if we start again, since I have two Malcolm Ales, I use one Alvin Mercenary for Tinning, and I only hold two of my Alvin Mercenaries in my hand after my Mulligan to tin my deck with one of them, which is in my deck actually. So I after I play my Malcolm Ales, or if I pull Reconnaissance before it, I play one of my Alvin Mercenaries and then play my Malcolm Ale in order to tin my deck one more card. So it's actually a good combo, and I'll explain why I play only two Malcolm Ales instead of three and run three sages. Actually, I talk about it a bit in the guides, but of course, it is not enough to explain the whole game plan. So, uh, actually, you can access silver slot in the Gwent database, and you can um learn what the silvers do in the stack. It's not too much too complicated. You can read the cards, and it's okay, I think. But I want to mention that uh, all of your silvers are spell cards to thin your deck, and which is important to thin your deck and strengths your Dolblatana Century. I want to talk about before going to the gold cards and Mulligan. I want to talk about the last wish card, which is the according to me the most important silver card in your deck after Nature's Gift, because the last wish can provide you accessibility to all of your Dolblatana Centuries by tilling your deck, and you really want to use Aethny to second last wish to thin your deck much more, and to make sure that you pull all of your Dolblatana Centuries in the third round at least, and or yes, like that. And I think it's good to go over a bit the gold slots. Then we can talk about the mulligan. What you end up with after the mulligan. Yes, and we can then go to the gameplay. So if you talk about the gold slot, there is three golds which you cannot change or replace for this deck. The first card is Itlene, because you really want to use her tempo and thinning strength. How can she thin is you use Azus Thunder by using Itlene, and you have by doing display you have 20 points and one card tuning, which is very really important. So you should try to hold Itlene after Mulligan. You really want it, or you can use Royal Decree to pull Itlene um, to your hand, yeah, or to the board, because you can break your sages maybe, and Itlene actually in the further sections or further rounds of the game, if you start with one Azus Thunder in your hand after Mulligan. So it's important to play Itlene in the first round and get rid of the Azus Thunder from the deck, and get her tempo actually. And what Tris Telekinesis do is in this deck, um, you can use it to access Reconnaissance, to play Elven Scots maybe, or to play Sages or Dolblatana Sanctuary. It doesn't matter. You can use it to access Reconnaissance, or you can use it to access Azus Thunder again, which is not you actually want to do because you have already three sages in this deck, which is uh, put to play three or more Azus Thunder in the games because there is too much how to say engine cards, engine bronzes, and decks like how to say decks like great swords or that's playing that plays long ships. So you want to use sages to remove these ships and out tempo your opponent, as well as blocking his engine cards or blocking his engine. You can say both. So yes, Tris Telekinesis, Itlena, and Royal Decree are the cards which you cannot replace for this deck. Only the card you can replace in gold slot is Uglies, and because there is decks which do not run any spells, so uh, you can see that you can face with that you play Uglies for only 8 strength, which is not you want from a gold card. So you can replace it actually with Muzzle maybe, which is good against Deadfish monster, Great Swords, or any deck which runs engine cards. Actually, it's a very good gold unit, gold card. Sorry, and maybe you can run your mat. I actually don't know. I really like the Uglies, so in most of my games I play with Uglies. This deck. I don't recommend you to use Isengrim Outlaw because this deck in most of games goes to the zero, the last card in the deck because in that way Isengrim represents too much thinning for your deck, and it's not good for you. Actually, you can break some of your bronzes like Elven Mercenary, Sage, or uh, actually your silver spell cards, uh, Nature's Gift, all like that. And I really recommend you to pull Nature Gifts a gift from your deck after Mulligan because, as I said earlier, it represents too much thinning for your deck and strength your Dolblatana centuries as early as possible, and also you really want to start with Elven Scott to the game to use Malcolm Ailes more properly by distributing units or placing units to the board. I think it's enough to talk uh, about the deck, and we can move on to the gameplay video if you want. I want to play casual game because uh, also actually I played too much games with this deck and I know uh, really well this deck, but most of the decks in this meta is running Scorch, and you are too much vulnerable to Scorch with this deck. So I don't want actually play ranked game, and I am not too used to this video things, so I don't want to get distracted and how to say that I don't want to lose my control in the game by explaining my plays. So it's good for me to play casual match actually, and it doesn't matter in my level because I am 47 level and 18 in the rank. So the opponent is going to be same in most of my casual games. So it doesn't really matter whether I play casual match or ranked match, but casual match is better for me to explain. The cards are play gameplay. Yeah. So let's start. Let's hope we get some sweet matchup. Oh, Eredin. Let's see. Are you Crasher or uh, how to say that? The Frost old school Eredin? Let's see. So, uh, you must start with Malignant Ale because you don't want to pull another Ale by Maligning another card in this situation. So, first things first, you Mulligan the Ale always. And I don't really want to hold Reconnaissance in my hand, so I want to play it via Elven Mercenary. But first, I need to kick my Azus Thunder. I really need to access my golds, especially Itlinia, so let's hope I find Royal Decree by Malignant Reconnaissance. Now, okay. It's not a good looking hand, but let's see if we can manage to win this game. I'm not sure. But we have nature's gift to last fish. So actually, maybe we can find our Itlinia in this round after thinning our deck a bit, and it's a really important thing if you don't have any gold cards after Mulligan. You should first thin your deck by playing Elven Mercenaries to find your golds by playing Last Wish. So I start with Elven Scott. Uh, I don't, it's not good actually, but I can pick Sappers because I want to distribute my units to the rows, and where I had blocks it. Hmm. I really need my Ithline right now, but I don't have it. Oh, that's good. So actually, what can I play right now? Uh, I can play marching orders to find my second Alvin Scott, but uh, sadly it can hit to the Alvin Mercenary, and if I play Alvin Mercenary, I play my Mahkam Ale or Reconnaissance and Azus Thunder. In this situation, I can hit double Atana Century if I pick Reconnaissance, which is not good. Actually, it is very bad situation. But I'm going to play marching orders, whatever. Oh, I'm going to pick Malcolm because I don't want to hit, as I said, double Atana Century. Actually, it's very bad for you. You shouldn't do it. Or as the mentality of the playing Nilfgaard, you can start with two Dolblatana Centuries to prevent uh, picking or holding, pulling two Dolblatana Centuries when you play Reconnaissance. It's same thing with holding two ointments after Mulligan Screen. So let's see. Yeah, I am going to play other Malcolm Ales, hopefully. Nice. Not Reconnaissance and Azus Thunder, which is good. So I haven't got any Malcolm Ales left in my deck right now. Ooh, yes. That's why you run Mandrake. Boom. Bye bye. Actually, I don't get why. Oh, now I get it. It's Swim's deck actually, but I think another variant maybe. Whoa, what? I just mandraked you, dude. You cannot play renew to it. Whoa, interesting. So, what to do now is to try to pull my gold units and Itlini especially. So I am playing Nature's Gift to Last Wish. Okay, I'm going to play Elvin Scott. We can take Panther to points or Makam Defender maybe, but Panther is really good, I think. Yeah, Panther is good. Represents 11 strength. Lovely. As you can see, I am behind the tempo, which you don't want to face with face with it in the first round because you have Malcolm Ills, which represents a lot of strength, tempo, and Itline, which represents again a lot of tempo. But what can you do if you don't pull any golds after Mulligan? So what I'm going to do is that I explained in the earlier by explaining the deck. I'm going to play second last wish from Itne to pull my sweet Itlene. So I'm removing the Drakars because the Arakas Benamoth is just a fake card. Mistake. Yes, really good. As you can see for now, my Dolblatana Centuries, all of my Dolblatanas are 11 strength. Oh. Actually, I'm going to artifact it because I don't want to dry pass from him in the second round by having this carryover. Now it's good. He cannot reach my points, although he plays one card. He should play, yes, he should play two cards or pass. As you can see now, I have equal cards and I won the round. Now what I can do is I can bleed him. And in the last round I can play my finishers and won the game. Easy, easy, easy. It's a good hand, so I can keep it. I'm going to play or start with my mercenaries. Pick Recon and Sage to Makamil. As you can see, I only played 8 strength, which is a low tempo, but I want to bleed him to get rid of these strong cards, as you can see, like the crowns. Now I can play Royal Decree for tempo to get telekinesis and hope I get Makamil, maybe? No? I can play Swallow. Yeah, Swallow is sweet. And I am going to play it to Merc. Maybe I could play it into Sage to lower the value of the Mandrake. Is he playing? Same thing. Yeah. It was a small mistake made by me, but it doesn't really matter too much. Now I can play Sage to my second Makamil. Okay. Now, actually, what can I do is I can pass and play all of my Dolblatana Centuries in the third round because I have accessibility to the last one by Azus Thunder, and which also buff my other Dolblatana Centuries in my hand to 18 strength since I play spell by playing Azus Thunder, but I can also play one of my Dolblatana Centuries by with Azus Thunder, and maybe I can take a card from him by display by hoping he plays two cards to catch me up, but I'm not sure actually. It represents, oh, yes, 20 points, right? Let's do it. Let's make it bleed. Let's hope he plays two more cards to get rid of. Sorry, to catch me up. Oh, it's actually nice. Yeah. Now I'm passing. He played his Mandrake, which is good. Lol. Okay. As you can see, maybe I can push this round and win 2-0, but it doesn't really matter. I have one card more, and he cannot win this game anymore. Actually, Aglace is very good card in this situation because he played some spells which is very strong, like Parasite. So I'll keep the Aglace in this round. I always start with Aglace to protect my Dolblatana Centuries from any big removals like Scorch or Igni. So I played Parasite for the best value of Aglace. As you can see, I thin my deck to last card almost, and this deck do it in most of the situations. Yeah, easy win. It's the power of Spella'teal deck, but as I said, it's very vulnerable to Scorch or big removals. So you need to know that it's. I don't recommend you to construct this deck if it is your first deck to construct. You should make some decks which is strong in the meta currently, like Great Swords, Nilfgaard Alchemy, and like that. Don't play Nova coin flip, please. And it's all I'm going to say about this deck. Again, thank you all for your great interest to deck. It brought me a lot, so thank you guys. Also, it is going to be my first and last English video in this channel because this channel is how to say this channel we are using this channel to produce some Turkish Gwent content, but you can don't hesitate to write comments under this video. I'll answer them, and take care of yourself and have a good day. Bye guys.